Thanks to all the listeners again. Record figures for the show, and we are thoroughly thrilled about that. That's because of some of the people who come to air and join us. And one of those is legendary England cricketer and commentator David Lloyd. David, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. You're in good form this morning, you two.
Well, we have to be, David. It's transfer deadline day, mate. We'll see what happens on that front. Good to see your smiling face. Everybody watching on YouTube and Facebook can see that David Lloyd has joined us. India-England, the second test, live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2 from Visakhapatnam tomorrow. Mike Atherton this morning, I'm sure you'll have seen these comments, David. England have moved from heavy second favourites to a situation where it would be a disappointment now if they didn't win the series. Is he right?
I think that's a bit brave. They've won match out of 5. India will come back very strong. I know they've got 3 players out for this next test match, but they've got plenty of players to come in. But there's a lot happening just at the minute. And if you've noticed, you look on social media, Jimmy Anderson's back in the team. Jimmy Anderson has been practicing left arm spin. Now he can actually bowl it. You see him time and time again in the UK do it. But I think, knowing this ball situation, I will not be surprised if Ben Stokes brings him on at some stage and said, bowl me some left arm spin.
Wow. I didn't even know that, Simon. I mean, there would be a moment, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that Mike Atherton has gone that far.
Well, why not?
Because there's no necessity for it. Because ultimately it's one test. It puts a lot of... Listen, this team won't be bothered because they'll do what they want. But not necessarily is it constructive to suggest that after one test that most people had written England off in and they came back from, now determines that the next 4 tests are going to go their way. It might be because Mike believes that losing 3 players in this test gives England an opportunity to go 2-0 up, and then being 2-0 up in a series of 5 puts you in a very strong position. But it does seem to be going from one extreme to the other, David, and it seems to be a little bit reactionary. And I'm surprised that Mike would write something like that because it doesn't feel like it's a necessary statement.
Yeah, but David, Simon mentioned there, India have lost some key players due to injury.
I mean, it's not an others thing, that. Others would always say, well, that's one game, there are 4 to go, you're away from home, let's see how it develops, they're doing fine. He's gone very, very bullish and gone the other way. But as I mentioned earlier, there's lots of things. I talk about Jimmy Anderson, and the other thing is that he's bowling this left-arm spin with Jack Leach. So Jack Leach is actually coaching him. The other thing, which India have missed a trick massively in that first test match, India are practicing reverse sweeps and sweeps. Well, where were they? They didn't play any of these shots in that first test match. And now for this build-up, they're practicing that all the time. Bashir comes into the team, and again, England are looking for a very, very long batting lineup.
David, what's your expectations now? I mean, I don't want to drag you into the Mike Atherton hyperbole, but do you expect England to go on and win this series?
Well, they've got every chance. They've gone 1 up in India, and let's strip it back. That to win in India would take something very, very special, and that still applies. And India will come back very, very strongly. Virat Kohli will be back, and he's probably, arguably, one of the greatest players that we've ever seen, and he will come back into their team. So I would just be a little bit cautious, and I would enjoy the way that England are playing. I enjoy the way that England are taking the game to India, and going back to our discussions before that first test match, you can't sit back against India in India. You've got to give them some challenges and try to get them out of the comfort zone. That's what they did in that first test match, and that's what they'll continue to do. And of course, we're waiting for it that they'll trip up. Bazball, it can't carry on, it can't carry on. Well, they're going to ensure that they're going to try to make it carry on.
David, terrific. Thank you very much indeed. David Lloyd, legendary England cricketer and commentator, such a popular figure with us on talkSPORT.
He's brilliant, that's why.
He's absolutely brilliant. He put you in your place a few times. After England went 1-0 up in the series last week, a reminder that you can hear live and exclusive ball-by-ball commentary of the second test between India and England on talkSPORT 2 this Friday from 3:30 in the morning. Do you think they'll win it, Simon? Do you think England will win the series?
I think they've got a very good chance.
Yeah.
But the reasons why I made a 4-act play out of Mike Atherton is because he doesn't normally do that. He doesn't normally go that strong, and it makes me think, why is he doing that?
Yeah.
But this team can cope with it. But I still think there's many a twist and turn in this, ironically, in a spinning pitch.
Sure thing. Don't miss the daily content, also available on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel by subscribing now.